Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to Breakout Trading Answer, the show where we talk about all things breakout trading. And of course, joining us today is Mr. Breakouts himself, Thomas Nesnidal. Welcome, Thomas.
Thank you very much, Andrew. Hi, everyone. We're back, and the breakout revolution is back with us.
I know. I was just thinking a moment ago that this is going to be a tough one to beat, the last show is going to be a tough one to beat today because it
I
was such
agree.
an awesome show, Thomas. For those who maybe weren't able to join us, do you want to give us a quick little recap on why it was so amazing, Thomas?
Yeah. So last week
Yeah.
we launched our latest, greatest breakout trading revolution. We did a big revelation, a small surprise, which I will mention today a little bit again as well. But the whole show had a fantastic atmosphere, great mood. We had a special guest, and I shared something from my personal story. So whoever didn't see it, please go back and watch the last week's episode, which was called Special Announcement, and it was special, I believe.
Yes, absolutely. So we've got some good. Actually, we got a comment from Sco in the chat. G'day, Sco. Let me put this one up on the screen to get us started for today. Enjoyed the book. Working on the worksheet now.
Yeah, that's it.
That's the
Great,
spirit.
great.
Yeah,
That's the spirit. Proud of you. Yeah,
yeah.
very nice.
And hey, Rock. I know Rock got the book as well. So welcome, Rock. Good
Hey
to see you
guys.
here. Mark's here. Mark got the book. I'm sure. I'm pretty sure. Chris, g'day, Chris. Olga. Good morning, Olga. Or good evening for you. It's morning for me.
Great to
So
see you all
welcome
guys
everyone.
again.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
welcome back.
So how's your week been after that? Such an amazing show, Thomas. How's it been?
Actually, it was very nice, and I have small story to share. So I shared just recently that I got a new trading idea, like a brand new thing, completely new, brand new concept. Like it's a completely new, pretty um, comprehensive project. And during the weekend, we were in a small village on the beach, and I really had to relax because I was quite tired after the week. And then, all of a sudden, while resting, a bunch of new ideas regarding this new trading project started to flow in. And I had no paper and no pencil with me. And, just like when you have this prolific flow of idea and you have no way to write it down, you get really frustrated. So I started running around this small village, desperately looking for some paper or pen wherever I could purchase it. And it was quite funny because after about 25 minutes, I achieved that. And the funny thing is that the only notebook and pen they had, this girly pen and this girly tiny
Oh, very nice.
notebook, which I think that your daughter or your son probably would love. Yes.
Yeah.
So very childlike and girly equipment, and I was so happy for it. And the whole weekend I was just writing notes down and like, oh yeah. So half of it is already full of notes, but it was funny. My wife, she was like, what is that? What did you buy? Like, where did you get it? And I said, sorry, that was the only one I had. And I'm so grateful for that because at least I will not lose my thoughts. So yeah, that was my weekend.
It doesn't matter what it looks on the cover, right? It's all the little secrets and gems
Exactly.
inside, which are important.
Exactly.
So yeah.
And I was totally not ready for that. I was like, I'm tired. I want to rest, switch off my brain. And then, I lied on the hamaka, and all of a sudden, this flow of thoughts and ideas. So I was like, okay, let's do it. Let's write it down. Let's get the notepad.
Sco said, very nice. Go the flowers and the lizards.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Oh dear, that's a good story, Thomas. So we've got a couple more comments in the chat here about the book. So let's share a couple of these, and then maybe we'll get started on the topic of today. G'day, Bill. Bill said, I just finished reading the book. Great information. Rock is getting ready for the boot camp, which is this weekend, actually. So maybe we'll share a little bit about that later if people want to join us. So looking forward to seeing you there, Rock. Okay, we've got Juan. G'day, Juan. Great book. Read it on the weekend. Testing the formulas on TradeStation and looking for good point of initiations.
Fantastic. Great, guys. Great. Very proud of you. And by the way, if you wouldn't mind, we would be super grateful if you wouldn't mind sharing some feedbacks or even small review with us on support at bettertraderacademy.com. That would be very helpful. So whoever feels like giving us some feedback or a short review of the book, please support at bettertraderacademy.com. That would be terrific. Thank you.
Or even better, we've got a little competition going on in the community right now for sharing your testimonial in the community.
Oh, yes, true.
And
true.
the winner gets a T-shirt like Tomas's, black or white. And so you can join there's only 2 of the T-shirts in the world. So very exclusive. I've got one and Thomas has got one. And you could be the third person. So only a small gift. But yeah, please share. And if you enjoyed the book, please let your trading friends know as well, because I think it's not just a trading book. There is a lot of stuff in there about mindset, which we're talking about today. Is the topic of the day. And a lot about reaching your potential and growing and things. So it's not just a trading book. I think it can help a lot of people. So please share the word. It's only it's a very cheap book, so it's not an expensive thing, but I think it's very, very valuable. So good book, Thomas. I agree with the comments here. Very good book.
Thank you.
Oh, actually, while we're talking about it, so I just put a link up on the screen in case people are like,
oh yeah.
I'll just do it now and then we'll
Nobody
get started,
knows
right?
about it yet.
I should have thought about it.
Yeah, and then we will get started. We promise.
So
we
go
have
to the breakoutTradingRevolution.com.
Yes,
I'll even put it in the
go
chat.
to Breakout Revolution, guys. The breakoutTradingRevolution.com. That is the book. Join us. You will not regret it. Okay, let's get to the topic we have here for tonight. Yeah. It's a little bit of a continuation what we started last week with this mindset shift. So we have this series of how to stop losing money trading. This one is about mindset shift. So, okay. So here is the profound question we're going to cover tonight. And the question is, next slide, please. So once we start experiencing a series of trading losses, why everything seems to be getting progressively worse. And I think you know this one, Andrew, right? Like when you get into this losing streak period, it feels getting worse and worse and worse and worse. And this is especially if you're new to trading and you're experiencing this in the very beginning. What you're really experiencing is what I call negative cycle. And sometimes how to stop losing money is just being aware of this negative cycle that is happening and what impacts it has. So what is this negative cycle? So basically, if we're not resilient, we're not ready, we're not psychologically trained for a streak of losses, which is part of the game, and it gets better with practice. Don't worry. After a while, you do not pay that much attention to it as you normally do at the beginning. You got caught into the psychological cycle when you basically losses will start creating pressure. I put so much time in it and money, and I have to deliver, and my honor is in stake, and whatever it is, it starts creating the pressure. And usually the human nature, there are plenty of books about it. Human nature, once gets caught into these negative thoughts, we usually tend to go to the little bit dark place, right? Like to this dark basement where we start having self-pity and regrets and all this negative emotion. So the results of this self-talk that is triggered by this pressure, and the pressure always triggers some kind of negative self-talk, the result is negative emotions. So that's quite natural. That's who we humans are, and that's what happens to us in other circumstances as well. Now, the tricky part is that once this cycle happens with trading, then the most dangerous thing is that we start having very subconscious, very often the subconscious, we're not even aware of it. It's really going on a subconscious level. we start having tendencies to compensate or overcompensate, which basically results usually in two different modes. So it can be either hope mode, and hope mode is that we somehow deeply do sense that maybe the losing streak is happening because we heavily underestimated or rushed something in the beginning, like robustness testing procedures or stress testing or anything in the development, or even we unwillingly, so quote unquote, cheated a little bit in the development process and stress testing process. And we do not want to admit it, because that would mean admitting defeat. And we got stuck in a so-called hope mode, where we really hope that things will get better. And we're stuck with a strategy which can be broken, and we somewhere deeply we probably know it or feel it, but still this hope mode is prevailing. It's stronger than us. So that's one modality. The other modality is so-called revenge mode, which is very common. This comes more from the aggressive side, where we feel like, no, I can do it. I'm an achiever. I always did what I wanted. I just put more pressure. I put more effort, because that's how we're conditioned as humans. Again, like something's not going well, just put more pressure on that, put more effort into that. And sometimes we can get subconsciously into this revenge mode, where we start, like I will push it and I will get my money back. And this creates a loop, which results even in more losses, and then we're stuck in this negative cycle. So it's common, and the trick is, and that's on the next slide, really the trick is that most of the time we're actually not aware that we're being caught into this cycle. Like this needs, we have to, as traders, we have to develop, to build a mental resilience, we have to develop a loop of self-awareness. And Dr. Steenberger, he wrote a couple of trading books on this topic of trading psychology, and he talks about it very well and very deeply. So we need to develop a kind of a good level of self-awareness, where we very honestly admit what is going on inside of us. Like, are we in some kind of self-denial mode or revenge mode, aggressivity mode? Are we in compensation or overcompensation mode? And we need to learn to recognize this and be very, very self-honest, because there's only one way to get out of this cycle, and that is becoming aware of that, which basically leads to the solution, which is quite simple. Yet again, it requires high level of self-awareness, which is basically, once we get awareness of shift in our behavior towards revenge modality or hope modality or any other potentially destructive modality, the only thing we can do is pause and reframe our entire experience. So we have to pause and we have to reframe the entire experience. And what it looks like practically is basically like this. So what we do, so we can move to the next slide, please. So as I said, the key is awareness. So first step is be aware of the negative cycle. So we have to build absolute self-honesty, and we have to admit that we're in this negative loop. And there's a reason why anonymous alcoholics, this group, they always start like with this saying, "Hi, I'm Tomas and I'm an alcoholic." I'm not. I do not drink at all. But it's I studied why they do all these steps there, and it's pretty deep and profound, and it's based on a lot of psychological research, and it's got deep meaning. And it's always the very first step for everyone, for each alcoholic, is like admitting, like, "Hi, I do admit that. I do admit I'm in this modality. I am aware of that. I'm admitting the awareness," and that's always the first step. And this is something we have to develop in trading as well. Like, have this honesty where we say, "Okay, hi, I'm XYZ, and I feel like I'm fucked up." Sorry for my words, guys, because I know that I rushed my robustness testing procedures. I probably cheated a little bit because I did something which I shouldn't have done, or I'm this hope mode, revenge mode, and and we have to admit it. We have to acknowledge it, rather than trying to override that negativity with false positive self-talk, which again leads to the hope mode. So it's very important. Now, when we do this, usually what follows next follows quite automatically and naturally, and it's usually and creates a very powerful mindset shift towards totally reversing the situation. And we all been there a couple of times. So once we admit the situation, usually we cease all our trading. We just stop it. We quit all our positions, which is very important, because the moment we stop our trading, we close all our positions, we quit all the psychological modalities as well. We quit a hope mode, revenge mode, again, whatever the negative modality is, and we pause. And this pause is incredibly valuable. It's super valuable and it's super important, because it's something like a reset. It's something like now we're quitting this picture of negativity, and we're having a clean slate, and we can start building on this clean slate. And this is the essence of the mindset shift, because now we stopped what something that was negative, and we did a reset, and we're ready for a mindset shift. And after we breathe a little bit, after we take a step back, which sometimes can take hours, sometimes days, and sometimes weeks. I remember I used to have a time where it took me 4 or 5 weeks when I couldn't think about trading. I had to do the full reset and then step back. Then you can start reframing your trading experience. So then you basically go back with fresh mind, and you say, okay, that wasn't good. I admit that. However, what did I learn from this? Because there's always tremendous amount of learning from this painful experience. How can it help me to do things better? Again, all my progression in trading came from pain. Very few ideas came from winning streaks. Most of my ideas came from pain. So there is always something positive in this pain if we are willing to work on this mindset shift and reframe the experience towards inspiration, motivation, and admitting there's some necessity, something to learn and something to gather, something to extract from all that experience. And why we now once we have this understanding, this learning, we can finally ask a question, why now we can make it better for the next time, why we are now better set for success. And this is the whole process of the mindset shift. So through this pause, we reframe the trading experience. And once we reframe the trading experience, we create a new mental loop, which is next slide, which I call positive cycle. And this mental loop completely reframes, recreates the entire experience. So now we have experience which was painful, but from this painful experience, we extracted knowledge. This knowledge leads to improvements. These improvements leads back to rebuilding our confidence, which goes back to better trading, which gets back to better experience. So we're basically recreated. We stop the negative cycle, this negative loop. We paused, reset, and we use all that experience to recreate a new loop, which is a positive cycle, which now can serve us as a foundation to build on and to really improve our trading and get from this losing, failing strategies, failing trading, to something which potentially can finally be a profitable, viable trading in a hopefully very near future.
Yeah, I think the reframing of this potentially negative experience or challenging time is super important, and that's something that we've been through in A-Cube trading recently. So A-Cube trading, for those people who don't know, is like a small team that I've put together from people in our elite program in BTA, which is like a 1-year mastermind program. And We're leasing strategies on Striker, and we're currently in a drawdown. It's been going for, I think, about 2 months now. Now it's all within, back-tested expectations. But when you've got investors or you've got people leasing strategies, there's always this, I guess, external pressure for you to produce the best performance every single month. So now we're in this drawdown. It's been going for about 2 months, and what we've done is we've reframed it into a positive experience. It's like, okay, what's happening now is within expectations, and it's not a complete disaster. But what can we learn from it? Like, what's happening in the markets right now? What are the strategies doing? What's the portfolio doing? And how do we make this better? We're not sitting around worrying about the losses and hoping and praying it's going to turn around. We've reframed it into, this is a fantastic opportunity for us to learn how to do things better. And we've uncovered some really great things in our research about why we're getting the results we're getting right now, and we've implemented some new things that are hopefully going to turn it around pretty quick. But just by looking at things from a different angle, as you said, Thomas, you can really break out of that negative cycle and learn a lot from just things that are happening and observing things, especially in times when you are actually in the drawdown, you're experiencing some losses day by day. It's such a valuable experience when you're able to switch it around into a positive thing. So I think that's super important.
Exactly. You said it very well. Exactly. That's the whole point. And quite frankly, as I said, I wouldn't be where I am with my trading knowledge and trading understanding and trading know-how without drawdowns. I think that 90% of my knowledge of trading, and especially breakout trading, which I believe is rather deep, I think it's a result of drawdowns. I think just 10% came, as I said, in these good times when everything went up. But actually drawdowns, definitely that I have one of the toughest robustness procedures among many traders. And again, the result is because of the pain that I had to experience in my early stage of trading. So there is something really, really abundant, which can be, or there is something really abundant about these drawdowns if we just reframe this experience. And the knowledge that we extract is often profound and deep and sometimes groundbreaking. Like some of my best solutions ever came from pain, literally from pain, because I was pushed to go way further than any time before. I had to step into new understanding of markets. I had to go through a couple of sleepless nights to think what on hell I overlooked, and this always was a foundation of new ideas. And I think that I studied movies and cinematography, and I studied a lot about storytelling, and there's been a lot of book written about storytelling, which come from very essence of human nature and human archetypes, and I believe it's deeply seated in our very core, in our genes, literally in our genes. That's the way how we learn and improve. Like I can't even think about a different way with anything. Ask anybody who's successful in anything, and it can look so easy and so elegant on the surface, but there always was learning which was accompanied by pain.
Yeah. Sko's got a good comment here in the chat, and this is my exact experience. I have the hardest time with bad habits when my trading is going well. It usually takes a drawdown period for me to wake up.
That's
exactly
very
right.
common.
Yeah.
Exactly right. Yeah. And it's great that you admit it. This is already the self-awareness I talk about. This is already admitting this, and that's very important.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I went through this period, this experience way back in 2008. I think I've shared my story a few times, where I was trading mean reversion, and I was doing a lot of the wrong things back then, but I didn't know. And I essentially blew up my account. I stopped trading for a while, and that was a very painful experience. I lost a lot of money. But now when I look back at it, it's like that was an incredible learning or education for me back then. And yeah, sure, it cost me a bit of money. It's made me a lot more since then. So I'm so grateful for that, having to experience that. So I think the mindset and the reframing of things like that is so super important for our development as traders.
Yeah.
I got a comment here from Rock, actually. Thanks, Rock. Luckily for me, the drawdown start as soon as I start trading, so I'm getting lots of lessons. That's how it happens.
That's already positive reframing as well.
Yep.
In a sense. Yep. Yeah. And that's what happens. That it is what it is. Yeah. So it takes some time and experience.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got a couple of other comments in the chat, Thomas, which we might save till the end, because I know you've got a few more slides. This next one.
So this is related. If somebody did not see the last week's episode, I talked about my big mindset shift, which was part of the velvet revolution that I experienced, that brought me a total, absolute mental shift in my mind from nothing is possible to everything is possible, which was really profound. And the reason I'm bringing this up again, because you can watch the recording, is because sometimes when we're going through this reframing, it's also important to anchor in these past experiences which already shaped our beliefs about what is possible and why it is possible. So that's another mental trick which will speed up your reframing. If you can trace back in your history anything that serves like a honest, genuine, it must be genuine anchor to really feel and understand why you can reframe it, why you can get out of it, why you can turn it into something profound, great, and amazing, why you can succeed at the very end. And I think this is like an evergreen thing. Everybody should think a little bit, what was your own revolution? What was your own, experience in life? Because we all have these experiences which can serve like an anchor of mindset shift and reframing when things happen. For me, definitely, it was the revolution. And I have many others as well. But again, if you increase awareness of these past events, it will help you in these difficult times as well.
Yep. Actually, I put up this slide for the link for the book. One's got a funny question about. So in the book, you talk about part of your experience in the black market and how that shaped your trading, which sounds a little bit odd. We won't spoil the story for people who haven't read the book yet, but one would like to know, is Interpol still looking for what you bought on the black market?
Yeah, I think if I would buy something from Russians nowadays, I probably would be already tracked and where people would visit my house. Yeah, that was a great story, and also a lot of learning. Yes. So yeah, again, you can read about my big mental shift in the book. By the way, recently I received a question if the book is just about this or trading. It's about everything. In the book, I talk about the proven formula. I share a lot of success stories, case studies. I share a breakdown of my more than 2,000 breakout strategies. So it's like the final cookbook, final manual. So yeah, again, if you haven't read it yet, please do so. I promise it will be worth it.
Yeah. So now we're going to question in. This is on. It's coming up. There's a little delay. Oh, it seems like we're having an issue. Let me just try that again.
Yeah, I can see it. I can hear it.
Moment.
From Mark.
I can't see any.
Hi, Mark. By the way, hi, Mark. So, yes.
If it's on the screen, Tom, you read it. I can hear you though.
Yeah. So so the question from Mark is: have you tried NLP? Oh, okay, cool. You can read it now.
Okay, yeah. Have you tried NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, to manage the mindset aspect in trading? If yes, would you recommend taking it?
So I did not try it because I tried different things, but I heard good thing about it, and I think everybody needs to try a little bit what fits you best, because there are different approaches. But any technique like this is worth exploring and trying. I can tell you what doesn't work for sure. What doesn't work is fake optimism, which is sometimes, and now not no assault, but it's part of a usual American culture, like, be very positive about everything. It's not so much in Europe, not so much in Australia probably, and sometimes this positivity over negatively happening things can be too forced, a little bit ungenuine, and this is one of the things that never worked for me, but it can be for me as a European, because we culturally are set a little bit differently. So if whenever I felt like I will override this negative cycle with this forced positivity, it never worked for me, but can work for somebody. But I think whatever solution it is, it rather needs to be genuine, and it needs to be something that you feel like genuinely exploring, genuinely processing somehow, if it makes sense. Does it make sense, Andrew, what I just said?
Yeah, that does make sense. I was actually wondering, so I know you're big on meditation, and got it here in the chat. I can see you are also big into meditation, and I guess an extension of that could use. How does that play into times where you need to reframe and accept that you're in this negative loop and break free? Can you talk a little bit about the role of meditation there?
Yeah, that's a great question. So meditation and mindfulness, and that's again proven by a lot of studies, significantly increases self-awareness. Because in meditation or mindfulness practice, you basically let your thoughts flow, and there's a new it's a technique that develops you way higher awareness of what's going really on in your subconscious mind or in your head. So with meditation, so for me, for example, meditation had two profound impacts. So first of all, I'm able much faster caught up my thoughts, which very often they are automatic and we're not aware of them, and realize what is it that's going on, in which cycle or loop I am at the moment. So that's one benefit of mindfulness meditation. The second one is that it really helps me to deal with negative emotions, which is the reset point. So usually there are a lot of negative emotions connected to losing streak, and sometimes the reset can take, as I said, weeks. With meditation and mindfulness, this reset, these negative emotions processing can take just a couple of days. So the recovery is much faster, and you faster open again back this creative part of mind and can start reframing the experience faster. So it's like it's reframing done faster, more efficiently, on steroids. It's reframing on steroids.
Well said, Thomas. Well said. It took me a long time to get over my drawdown in 2008, so I wish I'd known that sooner. But anyway, it's a process we all go through, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So there's a comment here from Rock. Let's put this one up on the screen. I've tried dozens of strategies with no luck yet. Finding that first strategy is the biggest mental hurdle with automated trading so far. So I think he means trading strategy. I'm a long-time meditator, so I'm lucky regarding mindset, which is great.
Fantastic. Yeah, great, Rock. You meditate. That's great. And you're totally right. Like finding the first strategy, it is a mental hurdle. It is a thing that is frustrating. It is a thing that can, challenge you quite a lot. But I would say it's like with anything else. If you go to gym, like if I go to gym and start doing push-ups, maybe I can do and I don't have any previous, training experience or workout. I can be very frustrated that I can do badly 1 or 2, while other people do 10 or 15. But through time, in a couple of weeks, you develop this ability to improve, and then it becomes almost a second nature. So the point is, we're all frustrated where we're starting something new and have no previous experience or abilities or skills. But like with everything, we have to, just keep working on it until it starts getting better. It is what it is.
Yep, exactly. And here's a recommendation. I don't know how to say this. Vipassana meditation retreat if you want to kickstart your meditation journey.
Great.
Yeah. Okay, Thomas, maybe we'll continue with the last couple of slides. So
yes,
if I
we're almost done.
Put this up on the screen. Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so this is just a micro announcement. So we created, or in BTA, we created a special new link where we will start listing all the upcoming BTA events, because we have quite a few events and we plan new events, and we even ourselves, we stopped. We started to lose a track of it. So the BTA team and Andrew, they developed this event calendar. So please check it out, bettertradeacademy.com/events, where you'll see upcoming events. And also a quick reminder, we have a Revolution Bootcamp this Saturday. You'll see on this page what it is about. You can sign up. It's a continuation of the book if you want to start practicing creating strategies. So again, check this page out. And the Revolution Bootcamp will happen this Saturday.
Yep. And okay, thank you very much, Thomas. And so now I think I'm just peeking ahead in the slides. We've got quote of the day, quote of the show.
Yes.
Here we go, coming up.
And now, guys, this is so we will interact a little bit. Stay positive, work hard, and make it happen. Now, if you guys agree, you have to give us like, because if you don't give us like, that means you disagree. I know it's tricky. I know.
I like the reframing on that, Thomas. Very clever.
Yes. That's reframing. That's a reframing. Yeah. So please, if you agree with this quote, give us like, and we will know that we all agree with this quote, which I do believe in. Definitely, I do.
Yeah. So please give us a thumbs up for this video if you agree with what Thomas says, and just make it happen. Click the thumbs up now. Make it happen.
Yes.
It's funny, Thomas. I like it. All right. Okay, let me just do a last minute check of the chat. I think I got everything today. So if you have any more comments or questions, quickly post in the chat. Otherwise, we're going to finish this one up for today. So it's been really a good slides today, Thomas, because mindset, I think, is such an unsexy, unappealing part of trading, but it's so important. It's so critical, and a lot of people don't want to talk about it. They're they're not interested in trading psychology and what's going on inside them, and I think there's a perception as well around algorithmic trading that it's just like, okay, well, just let the computer do it, and it doesn't matter what I feel about it. But as you've mentioned today, that mindset and the reframing and all these things can really have a massive impact on trading, even when the computer is doing it for us. So I think that's an important point to mention.
I think there's also something rooted in human psychology. So when it comes to self-improvement and following these psychological advices, often we can feel that by following these roads, we're admitting that we need help, or that we're not good enough. But that's not the case. That's a false perception. Like sometimes we can feel like, okay, maybe if I start doing this stuff, there's a little bit of a shame around it, almost like a shame, which I don't know what is coming from. But this needs to be surpassed and not be afraid of it, because we all need to work on our psychology constantly. Like, look at top athletes, look at top managers, top CEOs. They all work on psychology all the time, and they never believe they already know everything and are perfect in everything. We can always get better. So, if there is a little bit of a shame around this, or any kind of like this, barrier, it's worth breaking through this barrier and still start being serious in mindset shift and psychology in general. It's very helpful.
Yeah, very well said. We've got a question here from Rock. I know Rock's going to be joining us for the boot camp on the weekend, so we can go into this in more detail. But maybe, Thomas, you want to have a quick response for this. How many strategies would you recommend to shoot for before going live?
Rock, I would say, it's a good thing to get 2-3 strategies to get practice and to start monitoring them on a sim account, just to get in tune with behaviors. And then you can pick one of these 3 and go live, because you need to start building live experience as well. I'm usually not a big fan of postponing live trading for months and months and months. And neither I'm a fan of rushing things up. So usually, if you really should sim trade 2, 3, 4 strategies for some time, couple of weeks, and then consider switching one live and getting live experience.
Yep. All right, Thomas. Well, that looks like all the questions for today. So thank you very much again for sharing all your insights into mindset shift and how we
can you as well
leverage that to improve our trading performance. Thanks everyone for the great questions today. It's had some very insightful questions. So once again, please give us a thumbs up for this video if you enjoyed the content, and we'll be back again in 2 weeks' time with some more great trading insights. And by the way, if you've got any trading questions, you can contact us, support@bettertraderacademy.com, and make sure you get the book if you haven't got the book.
Yes, please.
It's a great book, and I'm sure you'll get a lot from it. So, Thomas, any closing comments before we wrap this bad boy up?
Not really. Thank you for being with us. We will be back in 2 weeks. I already have a topic for the next one, but I forgot what it was. But it's a good one. So definitely be with us.
Okay, so let's just close off with some thanks. Rock said, "Sounds good. Thanks, Chris. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, Chris. Who have we got next? Olga. G'day, Olga. Thank you.
Hey, Olga.
Sko, thanks for the discussion. Thanks for the questions, Sko. Juan, thank you.
Juan,
and, Neil's here. Thank you.
Oh, Neil, we missed you. Yes.
All right. So thanks again, everyone, for joining us today. Hope you had a lot of insights, and see you again
happy trading.
Happy trading. Ciao.